It's the rematch of the rematch of the rematch as the two-time SFL championship game matchup for the first time in the regular season takes place tonight in Tallahassee, where the last time Alaska was here, they won their first SFL title. Two teams that in season 12 haven't won a game yet and are avoiding an 0-2 start with a victory tonight. It's the Simulation Football League and Friday Night Lights, and it starts right now. Welcome to the Lion's Den in Tallahassee, Florida. A beautiful night, 63-degree, mostly cloudy skies, alongside Jeremy Vega on stats. Stephen Mullinex, I am Cameron Irvine. How you doing, Stephen?
Wonderful, Cam. Great to be here in the Sunshine State, and what a great night for SFL football. And these two teams, Titans of the SFL, it's an honor to be here and get to see them battle it out tonight on this very field.
The coin toss is coming up next between the two-time defending champion Storm and the two-time runners-up Tallahassee Pride, and I promise that'll be the only time I say it tonight. Let's get going. Alaska wearing their snow day uniforms tonight. Tallahassee wearing some beautiful purple and gold sets here as the Alaska Storm will call heads. Ron Cochran is the undeniable captain of this team. It is heads. The Alaska Storm have chosen to kick. And Stephen, it's up to you. Our keys to the game tonight.
Yeah, for me, Cam, it's who will win the line of scrimmage is the big question for me. This will be trench warfare at its very best, as these two teams have some of the greatest defenders in league history that line up across their defensive line. Who gets to the quarterback? Who gets pressure on each other's passers? And can these guys stop and fill those rushing lanes? That'll be a big question tonight and my key to this game.
The ball's on the tee and kick it. We're underway as the Pride get the ball first, and taking a knee 6 yards deep into the end zone was Trevor Swain, and out comes Christian Christensen, Stephen, who has just basically done whatever Tallahassee has needed him to do in his illustrious career.
Yeah, Cam, been a long-time Pro Bowler in this league now. We've got actually two Pro Bowl quarterbacks going head-to-head. Struggled a little bit there in week one. Actually, both of these teams struggled in their first game of the season. We'll talk about that after this play.
Christensen with two receivers back to throw, and he'll fire it out to the near side, caught by Ken Gossett on an out route. And we get a chance to meet this Alaska Storm defense, a little misshapen, at least from last season, but they've got a dominant defensive presence.
Yeah, and that presence is big, sexy. Alex Dominguez, 38 and a half sacks last season, a record here in the SFL. And now, combined with Kevin Bain, these two have been lethal here early in the season.
3-4 defense here from the Storm as Christensen is under center. Three-step drop, and Christensen avoids a sack and then takes one as Alaska was coming after him up the middle, and a swing and contact from Kevin Bain.
When you got guys like Bain and Dominguez on the defensive line, Cam, you can go with three linemen, and they will still get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. You know, that just opens up so much for you defensively when you can have four linebackers back there and still get an effective run.
Back to pass is Christensen on a 3rd down and 9, and only dumped it off just short, looking for an interference call. But that in coverage is Alfredo Mason at number 54, the outside linebacker, and Tallahassee will quickly go 3 and out on their opening possession.
Well, you got to feel like the pressure got to Christensen there a little bit. Threw that ball far too early. Didn't allow his receivers to get downfield and actually get open on their routes. Went to the check down, which I didn't really see much pressure on him. Probably seeing ghost from that last play.
So Tallahassee with a quick 3 and out. They fell to Sioux Falls last week 31-23. After a week 1 bye. This is from the 44-yard line, and not a lot of room to return there. 58 seconds into this game. Okay, the Alaska Storm offense. We know Ron Cochran, but Robert Merrill, who we saw struggle in week 1, Stephen, he's got to produce tonight.
Yeah, 4 yards on 6 carries. Not a good debut for Merrill as a halfback. Did have 6 receptions for 31 yards, but we know him as a reliable receiver. Can he be a reliable running back? That's the question.
4 receivers for the Storm. Hand off to Merrill, and on the first play, Robert Merrill dragging defenders for a first down. Alex Bond and Michael Sprouse eventually making the tackle, but that is a fantastic start for Merrill.
Yeah, averaged 0.7 yards per carry in his last game back in week 1, as you mentioned. And on this single run, more yardage he had in the entire game back against Baltimore in week 1.
9:33 to go in the first, now in Tallahassee territory, and Cochran will flip it out to Merrill. Merrill past the 45 to 40, spinning and picking up 5 to the Tallahassee 39 with 56 viewers watching so far. This Pride defense, who's the key on that side of the ball to you, Stephen?
Well, they've got the Sprouse brothers, who are absolutely terrific in the secondary. 2 cornerbacks that really control the outside of the deep middle field. But when you talk about Tallahassee, you're usually talking about their defensive line.
Cochran flips it outside. Merrill in some trouble and lost a yard. 3rd and 6. Tallahassee was really not expecting or ready in week 2 for Sioux Falls' swing game, and that really hurt them last week.
Yeah, it did, and it seems like Alaska took a note out of that playbook, as we've seen a couple of those outlets to the running back here early.
Swole 2011 now hosting us. R. Cochran with the 100 bits, and you're right. Alaska's got a new kicker, and we do need to update that graphic. Thanks for letting us know. Please post in errors. Cochran, deep ball down the middle, is caught at the 17-yard line. That's Jeff Como, who had their only touchdown in week 1, and it seems crazy, Stephen, but the last time Alaska was on the field, we were calling their game.
Yeah, Cam, and it's unusual. These two teams, they both had bye weeks so early in the season. We haven't really got a chance to get a sense of who they are. We know their history, but coming into this game, both of the teams without a win, only played 1 game so far this season. It's kind of a mystery about, are we going to see something different from these teams?
Cochran to throw. He's under some pressure, then dumps it off to, I think that's Williams, the fullback. That picks up 2. Actually, no, it's Stanley Nordellis, the longtime back here in the SFL, picks up 2.
Yeah, and good to see Nordellis is still in the rotation, with Merrill moving to halfback, and you've got Jason Williams, the Pro Bowler, at fullback. Didn't know there's going to be a lot of room for Nordellis, but he gets a little action early here. 3
receivers, 2 to the left side. Cochran changing the play at the line. Ball at the 15, 7.5 to go in the first quarter, as Cochran flips it outside to Williams, and Williams is cut down pretty quickly after a 4-yard pickup. That tackle on the outside made by Sprouse. And going back to the Michael Sprouse, that is, going back to your point, Stephen, about the Sprouse brothers, they have a very important task tonight in the flat against these 2-star backs.
Yeah, they do. They're going to have to be well aware of not only the star wide receivers in Como and Klein, but they're going to need to watch for those swing passes.
Cochran play action is incomplete as he threw that into heavy traffic. Sir Chappelle was covering. That was Williams, the intended receiver, and on that first drive, Alaska does not target Optimus Klein, and their new kicker, Disco Fudd, who was signed this week, 6'3", 175 rookie, will try to come out there and hit his first career field goal.
And I want to give some love to Sir Chappelle, the transfer really from Carolina, played with the Skyhawks last year, was an integral part of the resurgence in Carolina, bringing his talents to Tallahassee along with running back A.J. Francis this offseason.
This is a 28-yard chip shot for Fudd. Right-footed kicker, ball on the left hash. That kick is up, and it is good for Alaska. So the Storm have tonight's first points, and if you missed it early on, here's our crew this evening, an all-star crew here on Twitch TV as Alaska takes a 3-0 advantage. So Tallahassee will get another opportunity here after the 3-and-out on their opening possession. And from 2 yards deep in the end zone, we'll see Swain return this for the first time. And Swain is going nowhere. And Christensen will start back all the way at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, an important aspect that we need to talk about in this game. We've seen a sack already out of Kevin Bain. That's his 5th on the season. Had 4 sacks in his first game, his debut in Alaska. He was with Tallahassee last season. So this is a revenge game against his former team here, and he's already shown up with a sack.
Jay Wowza with the 100 bits. The handoff to A.J. Francis for the first time tonight. A.J. Francis stays patient and picks up 15 yards on his first carry, and Tallahassee's got their first move of the chains of the evening.
Well, Francis was handcuffed in week 1, only 58 yards and a touchdown on 19 carries. Did have 10 receptions for 54 yards, but Cam, me and you saw this guy in the preseason, and he was electrifying. I mean, like a hairdryer in a hot tub. This guy went off in the preseason. I expect a big game from A.J. Francis tonight.
6:28 to go, first quarter. Grayson Willis is at the top of the screen for the Pride offense. Ken Gossett at the bottom. Their 2-star receivers, and Christensen flips it outside. That's caught by the fullback, pickup of 6. That is Julius Williams, and a new wrinkle in this offense, Stephen, is number 89, the tight end, Ty Norris, 6'7", 285, undrafted rookie. And Tallahassee, not really a big tight end team, but they're going to look to use him tonight.
Yeah, 3 receptions, 81 yards, including a 44-yarder in their week 2 loss to Sioux Falls. But it is, as we see, the running back there get stopped short of the line of scrimmage or right at it. Cam, I've said this so far early this season. It seems like the season of the tight end in the SFL is we've seen so many of them make bigger impacts than we're used to.
Mark Cochran with another 400 bits. He is feeling generous tonight. Thanks for your support, Ron. Chris Mack on that last tackle on Francis. They gave him about a half a yard, but you're right, Steven. Didn't look like he got anything at all. 3rd down and 3 as Christensen will drop to throw. He's in trouble, and he's going to be sacked. Second sack of the first half, and another one that ends the drive. The former Tallahassee Pride member, Kevin Bain, having some fun out there with his former quarterback.
Yeah, it looked like he was drinking a beer and cracking the can on his helmet there in celebration. But yeah, he's having one heck of a start. Don't think that the fact that he's facing his former team doesn't matter in this. He wants to show Alaska they made the right choice by signing him as a free agent. And so far tonight, he's been absolutely spectacular. Going back to the key to the game, Cam, I thought this game was going to be won and lost in the trenches. So far tonight, Alaska was doing an excellent job of keeping Tallahassee's offense underfoot.
I think one of the best things Tallahassee can do is to get Francis going and slow down that pass rush as Paul on the return for Alaska. Joshua Paul sets up Ron Cochran at the 38-yard line. So 4:48 left to go in the first quarter. And Alaska's got an early 3-0 lead. We saw a lot of field goals in the first half of the championship game on our last Twitch front page ball game as these two offenses took just a little bit of time to figure each other out. Cochran's in some trouble, gets away from Norwood, got a late block, and the pass is caught, and then a late flag on the play. That could be roughing the passer. As Norwood was coming in, Julian makes the catch. MeUndies Laundry on the field for the first time tonight. And it's going to be a late hold instead on Alaska. That was Edwidge Paul, who I believe was the man that was trying to defend Norwood, Stephen.
Yeah, they're just doing what he had to do there in order to try to protect his quarterback. But Cochran, the wily veteran, able to really Houdini his way out of that situation and come up with a positive play. Unfortunately, the flag goes against Alaska.
So 1st and 20 now, back at the 28-yard line. That is a gut-wrenching penalty as Tallahassee rushes 4. Cochran's running out of time, flips it near side. The pass is caught, still in bounds. Got 17 yards on the play. That pass caught by P.J. Hernandez.
The coolness in the pocket by Ron Cochran is amazing. Look at this little sidestep move. Oh, they don't show it in the replay. But he sidestepped, just barely made the slightest move in the pocket to give him that extra second to get his receiver open. Man, let me tell you what, he does it with the coolness of a bomb disposal expert back there. That guy has got ice in his veins. They call him the Iceman here. Alaska does, and for good reason.
So 2nd down and 3 after the 17-yard pickup on 1st and 20. Maryland Williams in the backfield. Williams gets his first handoff of the night, and look at Tallahassee string that one out. He's going to lose 1, and Michael Sprouse there on the tackle again. MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/SimulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL through our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and returns, signature soft and stretchy MeUndies, and make sure you get it before they're gone, too. 3rd down and 4, play action pass for Cochran. Cochran going long, and the pass is incomplete into a mess of trouble. Alex Bond in coverage. That was Optimus Klein, I believe, who was targeted, who still does not have a pass, or a reception, rather, in the first quarter, and Alaska's going to have to punt.
Yeah, just a good job by Tallahassee's secondary. I saw Matthew Sprouse out there as well. But just a great job of them not falling for that play-action fake. And honestly, Alaska hasn't been running the ball much, so I'm not sure why they would use the fake so early in this game. But they didn't fall for it. Just perfect coverage for where they were. There were actually 3 defenders out there where the pass was intended for.
Coming up on 3 minutes to go, and Tallahassee once again going to be backed up. They're going to start this drive from their own 20. Well, Stephen Mullinex, guess what? Welcome to Blitz Live, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday, January 27th, 5 games. New Orleans, Chicago, Tallahassee, Vegas, Dallas, Denver, Oklahoma City, San Fran, Mexico City, and Atlanta will all likely be sharing the front page, plus features, highlights, score updates, and more. It's Sim Football's spin on NFL Red Zone, and you can see it next Sunday on Twitch and our YouTube networks as the handoff goes to Francis to pick up 4. If you missed Ashley Jackson's podcast, this is breaking news to you, and we are excited to bring this concept back and better than ever.
Yeah, and what a night of just SFL football for all involved, and a great way to welcome people to the league and introduce who we are. And I just like you spinning all those different plates. I love to watch that.
6 of the 10 teams in action that night will be making a front page debut. Christensen throws where the blitz came from, and Gossett holds on in traffic. Tackle made by Ryan Tobin, but a beautiful catch from Gossett down the field.
And Gossett needed a bounce-back game. The Pro Bowler only had 3 receptions for 36 yards in the Week 2 loss to Sioux Falls. So basically, the Sparrows really covered him like a wet blanket. Here, starting to show signs of that Pro Bowler and that reliable receiver we all know and love.
2:18 to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers. Christensen has a great pocket. Deep shot caught. One-on-one coverage. The Alaska 41. Give that one to the offensive line as Swain has a first down.
Yeah, the O-line giving Christensen time to deliver the perfect ball. Really excellent ball placement there, Cam. Outside shoulder, allowing the receiver to shield off the defender and make that pretty easy completion.
Live stats update from Jeremy Vega in the truck. Christensen 4 for 4 for 46 yards in the first quarter. 5 for 5 for 56 yards in the first quarter. A pickup of 10 to Ty Norris with his first catch of the evening.
And as you mentioned, a new wrinkle to this Tallahassee offense is how are they going to get and use this 6'7", 285-pound tight end. Shows you there. They like them down the middle. Get that reliable first down. Keep the chains moving.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. 1:15 to go in the first quarter. 3-0 Alaska. Handoff Francis. Francis breaking a tackle. Gets 7 up the middle before Evan Carroll and Ryan Davidson end up bringing Francis down.
And this is what Francis can do for you. The guy's built like a tank, has the speed, and is as quick as any SFL rusher there is. Just a rare combination of talent this guy has. Really shocking that Tallahassee was able to land him late in the offseason after losing Jay Enola.
2 receivers, handoff Francis. A.J. Francis, first down, gets away and gets to the 14-yard line. Another first down on this drive for Francis and the Pride.
Well, you see Francis finishing like a hammer on a nail here as he penetrates the line. Probably nobody as powerful through the tackles as Francis, but then you get him into the secondary, and boy, let me tell you what, if you're a young defender there in that secondary, that's the last thing you want to see. Basically a bowling ball coming at you.
Davidson missed the tackle. 7 plays, 14 yards in their first 2 possessions, but this a 6-play, 66-yard drive right now for the Pride. 3 receivers, ball in the red zone, down 3-0. Christensen to throw, dumps it short, turning and moving. Francis got the first down all the way to the 4-yard line. He turned a 2-yard play into a 10-yard play as that ends the first quarter of play. And what a first quarter it was. The Storm lead the Pride 3-0, but Tallahassee on the move. This is Friday Night Lights on the SFL Network on Twitch. Stay right here. Start of the second quarter, 1st and goal at the 4 for Tallahassee. Trying to take the lead. Francis will not get there. Just a pickup of 2, and we've seen plenty of teams, as you get Francis's updated numbers, get some big goal line stands already in the first 2 weeks of the season. Yeah, well, you're going to need 2 guys to bring down Francis. He had one holding Francis up and the other one deliver the blow. They're going to need more of that if they expect to stop number 27 tonight. 10:36 to go first half. 2nd down goal from the 2. Handoff Francis. Try it one more time. Won't get there. Marked down at the goal line. Saving the touchdown is Maisonette, and also on the play was Andrew Francis playing safety. My apologies to R.J. Manley. I gave his number away early. Actually, Francis is 28. Manley's 27. Either way, 3rd and goal here. Do you do a little trickery and pass this ball, or you just keep running up the gut? Neither team has converted a 3rd down tonight, and Francis won't do it there either. Goal line stand for the Storm as the tackle made by Myers to stop the touchdown. And Myers has been locked in on Francis on those 3 downs there, really just spying him and getting a solid hit. What a great 3rd down stand there by Alaska. It was 1st and goal at the 4. They run it to Francis 3 straight times, and Alaska stops him for 3 yards. Richard Douglas's field goal is good, and we are tied at 3-3. And I can't fault Tallahassee for going to Francis as many times as they did there. That makes sense. That wins 99% of the time, Cam. You're going to get in the end zone with someone like Francis, but that 1%, Alaska did a terrific job defensively of holding the big fella back. Francis 8 carries for 40 yards. Christensen 6 of 6 for 66 yards, but just 3 points on the board for the Pride here in a defensive struggle as expected, and what we saw in the championship game when the Storm won 22-17, and that was a Pride caravan rumbling down that top of your screen. The Simulation Football League is sponsored by and presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. By Bit Central and Fuel, transforming SFL media in 2019. By Harry's Razors, all you need for a close, comfortable shave. And by Matt Doyle Designs, the official design partner of the SFL. 9:30 to go in the first half. Play action from Cochran, and in trouble, nearly throws a pick. And it's 2nd down and 10. That is Matthew Sprouse on the coverage of this first pass, defended the 3rd overall for the Pride tonight. And Sprouse in perfect position to really, could have come away with that ball and would have been an easy pick 6, but still does a good job athletically of going up and pass defending there and tapping it away. But just a lost opportunity there, one that Tallahassee wishes they took advantage of. 90 viewers. Hopefully we'll get into triple digits here if this game stays close, and obviously a championship rematch as Merrill picks up 4, and we haven't seen Merrill do too much since that first long run. He's up to 15 yards on 2 carries. Well, you just get the feeling they're still trying to figure out how to incorporate him into this offense. This is an Alaska team that really didn't rely a lot on the run, and when they did, they ran through a fullback. 9 minutes to go first half. Cochran stepping up, and Cochran just got rid of the ball as pressure was coming from Taekwon Hale. Nearly a sack, but forces a 3 and out for the Storm, and Tallahassee starting to answer the call. Yeah, and that won't come up on the stat sheet, but that's a 3rd down play that's so critical to stopping Alaska on their, any type of offensive momentum they're trying to gain.
here in an away game. So important that you do so. And again, we go back to winning the line of scrimmage. We're seeing the impact of these pass rushers and this run defense really be the dictator in this game.
Alaska just 2 first downs in the first half, and we don't have a single third down conversion yet. These two teams are a combined 0 for 7. As Jeremy Vega all over this, the last 2 Alaska drives have been 3 and outs, 6 plays, 20 yards.
Well, Alaska came into this game 20th in third down conversions, only converting 36% of their third down attempts, and Tallahassee wasn't much better at 42%.
8 carries, 38 yards for Francis, 8:50 to go in the first half. The boys in purple back out there offensively. 3 receivers all to the bottom of the screen. Christensen going to throw it quickly, and Christensen's pass is caught. Don't let that pass rush get to you, as Ken Gossett has another first down.
Yeah, that's important, you know, that you want to try to instill that quick passing game. But here you have to have a receiver who's reliable enough that you know that he'll get open, and you can pinpoint and throw the ball to a spot before he gets there. And that's the chemistry that these two, Christensen and Gossett, have. And we've seen so much success from the last couple of seasons, really making Gossett the premier receiver. That's why it was so surprising he only got 3 catches in his last game.
Chat shout-outs, realist since Kambaya 24, Ocho Tona 11, Iceman Gervin 44, C. Pundy, Lloyd Graham, Little Man Michael, Ethan Kai 66, Eric JDWA holding it down on score stream tonight, and many more in the chat, including Alex Clinton, Jeff Duffy, and Christensen, if I missed him already. Nicholas Infante 1992 also in there, SFL number 1. We would agree. Beautiful night in Tallahassee, 63 degrees, wind is just 6 miles an hour to the south. Should not be much of an impact on this game tonight. 2nd down and 10 for Christensen at the Alaska 43. And Christensen's got some pressure right in his face, but gets it away, and it's intercepted. Intercepted, the first turnover of the ball game, as he was looking for Gossett, I believe, down the field, but Ryan Davidson going to take this one away.
Yeah, Cam, it's almost a mirror image of the play that previously worked to Gossett here. I think he's going to number 11, in fact.
Willis.
In Willis instead, and it's just a great read by the defender. Probably since it was a very similar route, the defenders were really keyed in on preventing that after it just took advantage of them. And just a great job by Alaska's defense to get their offense back the ball deep in their own territory.
I am JD2X, HWJ1512, the trash car, also in the chat room as Jason Williams gets the handoff, and the big fullback picks up 11 yards for Alaska's third first down of the night. Their second by a running back, and the first by the fullback.
Well, you expect most fullbacks to be more north-south guys, but we've seen Williams try to bust it outside a couple times in this game. Didn't work initially. Here, rattles off a big 11-yard gain.
7:50 to go in the first half. 3-3, Alaska and Tallahassee, as Ron Cochran out of the shotgun with 4 receivers will throw. Cochran dumps it off to Merrill. Merrill with some space. What a move! Spin cycle down to the 46-yard line. And we're going to have to see who that was that got juked by Robert Merrill, but that's his best play of the game.
Yeah, I think his jock is probably laying on the field, Cam. That was a really awesome spin move there by Merrill. And we know that the guy's a great athlete. You've got to be a great athlete to go from wide receiver to running back. But there he just kind of used his after-the-catch skills that he's developed for so many seasons in Alaska to juke out the defender.
Optimus Klein still does not have a catch in the first half, and they're looking his direction, and right on cue, Optimus Klein is going to pick up 7 yards. Bond on the tackle. The Storm are in Pride territory.
Well, Klein, we've known this guy for years as just being the ultimate professional, terrific on and off the field, and really, outside of Cochran, a leader of this offense. Yeah, I expect him to be more involved going forward.
2 backs, 2 receivers. Cochran, quick drop back and hits Williams, and Williams picks up the first down of the Pride 43, stretching that out across the chains. Michael Sprouse with that tackle already has 2 tackles for loss in the first half.
And Cam, that play is really designed just to get 2 or 3 yards. You know, he's a Pro Bowler, and Jason Williams, he's a fullback, but even he's going to have trouble with 2 defenders on him. but is able to sneak the ball just past the chains and give it a first down.
3 receivers at the top of the screen for Cochran. Cochran going to throw again out to Merrill in the flat. Merrill got a block. Merrill's got a first down to the Tallahassee 32-yard line. Nicely done down the field, I believe by Julian for the first down.
Yeah, that block really sprung him right there. And then it's just one-on-one, and the defender unable to make the arm tackle on Merrill, who showing a little toughness tonight. Something we didn't see from him in that first game, starting to shine through. We knew that he's a great receiver already, and they're going to absolutely use him as that out of the running game. But his running style, Cam, I think has got a little bit more furious and is a little bit more tougher than we give him credit for.
It was the Everscroll block of the game as that sprung the Storm for a first down. Pass intended for Williams. That pass is incomplete. Everscroll, by movement, blocks blue light to protect your eyes from digital screens. Don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL action. Protect them and see every moment by using the promo code SimulationFL at purchase from movement.com. That's MVMT.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL through our partnership. Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. And with that incompletion, it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Eaton, the linebacker, had an opportunity to maybe come away with that ball as Cochran threw it behind his fullback, but lucky for them, it dropped harmlessly to the field.
4 receivers on a 2nd and long for Cochran. He's 10 of 14 for 82 yards in the first half. Handoff Merrill. Merrill shot out of a cannon, and then a really nice open field tackle there by, I believe that was Ira Sharp. I may be mistaken.
Yeah, Cam, actually the offensive line really opened up. Just a giant hole for Merrill to run through. Didn't get touched until he was 8 yards down the field.
3rd down and 2. The Storm are 0 for 5 on 3rd downs tonight. Handoff Merrill. Got the first down. Robert Merrill to the Tallahassee 16-yard line. Back into the red zone as that wrap-up made by Sir Chappelle.
Well, you've got to balance your running attack, right, Cam? You've got speed with Merrill. You've got power with the fullback, Jason Williams. On 3rd and 2, you might think as a defense they're going to look to Williams, the fullback, to get those gritty, hard 2 yards. Instead, they trick you a little bit. They go with speed, and it's an easy first down.
Merrill 4 carries, 31 yards. Williams 2 carries for 10 yards. 5:15 to go in the first half. Merrill for the 5th time tonight. Look at that lane open up the middle. This offensive line is putting in some work, and Michael Sprouse gets his 6th tackle of the first half.
Well, let's give a lot of credit to the big uglies up front, right? That offensive line is opening up a massive hole. And let's not forget, this defensive line in Tallahassee has 3 stars on it, and they are making them look like non-stars.
2nd and 4 from the 10. Still on the move. They get it to Williams, and a big smack down there from Jeff Eaton, 6'2", 240. As otherwise, that may have been a touchdown. He locks down Williams on his 3rd carry of the ball game.
Yeah, excellent job there by Jeff Eaton, really to get on top of one of the more massive fullbacks and running backs in the league and bring him down pretty easy.
4:19 to go first half. Tallahassee showing a blitz. They stay with it, and Merrill attempts to get the first down, but the Pride loaded the box and stuffed Merrill just shy of the first down, and we'll see what the Storm want to do here.
Yeah, I bet if the Storm had a mulligan, Cam, they might try to throw that ball. Remember, Optimus Klein has just 1 reception in this game, 6'4", 225, big target.
They got the personnel out there to possibly go for it. 4th and inches at the 6. 3:47 to go. They're hard counting the Pride. And that aggressive defensive front that hasn't done too much tonight is not going to budge. The Storm will burn a timeout, and our field goal game will continue.
Yeah, that's a situation, Cam, you'd love to see something like a quarterback sneak or something of that nature, just to have Cochran there sneaking across the line. It's so close. But as you mentioned, we've just had field goals in this game. So a field goal here puts you up by 3, and you can possibly take a good lead going into halftime. And anytime you can do that on the road, it's a win, even though maybe it's a small one.
So 3:38 to go in the first half, and Fudd can give the Storm a 6-3 advantage. This is another chip shot, 23-yard field goal. All field goals have been with inside 30 yards. That kick is nearly blocked, but the field goal is good for Alaska, and they avoid disaster and take a 6-3 advantage.
Yeah, that felt anything other than a gimme there. Just Tallahassee's special teams was able to really get a lot of penetration, and guy nearly blocked it with his body there for the Pride, but just good concentration by Alaska's special teams to make what was a chip shot, a little bit more difficult chip shot, able just to make it look pretty easy there.
That was a long drive, 69-yard, 11-play drive, thanks to Jeremy Vega, expert statistician there in the truck for us. The field goal drives tonight for the three teams, 7 plays, 44 yards, 10 plays, 79 yards, and 11 plays, 69 yards, as neither team has been able to get 6 off of anything.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen this kind of game, Cam, where we'll see field goal and field goals and field goals, and then suddenly just an explosion of points? I fully expect that from these two teams.
Christensen trying to give it to you. Gets Norris a little bit behind him, but Norris hauls it in and gets it all the way out to the 47-yard line, and the Pride have new life.
And wouldn't you know, it's a tight end with the big play here. Norris down the middle of the field. That's where these tight ends are the most effective. Although you'll see them sneak to the outside and deep every once in a while, but if you need an old reliable, you get yourself a tight end, do a nice little tight end slant there, or something, maybe a post down the middle, and these guys are just reliable hands and tall targets and great for quarterbacks.
3 minutes to go, plenty of time before they hit the locker room. Christensen will flip it out wide, caught by Willis, a 5-yard gain, rushing out in coverage, but too late, Ramal Hernandez, and that is Willis's first catch of the night.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that was in bounds, Cam, but it looks like Alaska's going to let that one go and not try to challenge it, and that effectively it stops the clock, giving Tallahassee more opportunity here to get across midfield.
Ball at the Storm 48-yard line as Tallahassee approaches field goal range, which we'd like to see what kind of leg Douglas has. Handoff Francis, and Francis cannot get anywhere. Tackle up the middle made by Maisonette in this new look Alaska defense. They don't really put a lot of emphasis on the linebacker play. They're letting it be a team effort inside.
Yeah, they actually switched their great middle linebacker, Andrew Francis. They put him out to strong safety, and now they're just going with some unknowns there at linebacker, but they've showed up tonight when they've been most needed.
It's 3rd down and 5 just prior to the 2-minute warning, and Christensen going to throw, 3-step drop fire. No, Norris dropped it. Knocked out of his hands, rather, is probably the better interpretation, as a great defense in the Storm secondary forces a punt just ahead of the 2-minute warning.
Well, big fella, you got to try and hold on to that ball if you can, but Christensen really tried to squeeze it in there, as there were a lot of Alaska defenders there to knock that one away.
Christensen's 3rd incompletion, 8 of 11, 116 yards, had that one pick earlier. And this punt will bounce at the 11, received by Paul, who spins right into 5 different Tallahassee Pride members at the 15-yard line. We've reached the 2-minute warning. It's the Quip 2-minute warning. And you're watching Friday Night Lights on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. Drive number 5 for the Storm. And the handoff goes to Williams to start the 2-minute offense, and Williams picks up 4, and they, for the moment, will not run no huddle. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy. With time vibrations, brush head refills for $5, refilled every 3 months, covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in the chat, and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome, clean. We'll get that link shortly. 2nd and 6 at the Alaska 19-yard line. Merrill picks up 5, 3rd and 1 as Alaska continues to test the waters here before the end of the first half.
You know, talking about Quip, Cam, I've heard that their toothbrushes are are like, what if Apple designed a toothbrush? Those are how slick and sophisticated these things look, and I'm excited to get on to myself.
So 3rd down and 1 with a minute to go. And they're going to hand it off to Williams, and he didn't get there, and Tallahassee is going to wisely burn a timeout. So the Pride all over that as Alaska was kind of slow playing them, and now the Pride are going to get one more chance. A pretty spectacular 3-and-out forced by the Pride defense again. That's the 3rd of the game.
Yeah, I think a little clock mismanagement here at halftime is going to give Tallahassee an opportunity to maybe put some points on the board as a result. Let's see what happens on this punt here.
High snap, nearly blocked, and boy, would that have been a momentum changer. From the 39-yard line up to the 43 goes Matthew Sprouse. So here we go. Christensen has an opportunity to put some more points up on the board. 3 punts, a field goal, and an interception in Tallahassee's first 5 drives.
And you want to get around the 33-yard line of the opposing enemy's territory there to give you a solid chance, as they've got Richard Douglas as their kicker, not one of the strongest leg kickers here in the SFL, so you want to give him as much room as possible.
Christensen flips it out to Francis. I think that's Francis' first catch out of the backfield. It's his second. Picks up 7. They're going no huddle. Willis at the bottom of the screen, Goss at top of the screen, down to 33 seconds. Christensen going to throw again on a crossing route. That pass caught by Gossett. First down to the 43-yard line, running no huddle again. Gossett's
watch the clock. And watch the clock. It is running.
That's right. Norris on the right side of Christensen, down to 18 seconds to go. Christensen going to throw again. Christensen in some trouble, has to dump it off. That looked like a backwards pass to the fullback, and they're not using the timeout, Steven, and that's going to bring them all the way down to about 3 seconds to go in the half. I think the Pride forgot they had another one, and they burn it here, and they'll have to settle for a Hail Mary.
Yeah, both sides of the ball, really poor clock management. Now they're just going to try toss it in the end zone and see if they somehow can come away with a miracle touchdown. It would be the first in this game so far through the first half.
And Christensen can't believe it, and Coach Frank Gooden reaches into his soul and pulls it out. And asks, what are you doing? as the Pride will huck it and chuck it for a Hail Mary. 11 of 14, 131 yards in the first half. Gossett's been the top target. 3 catches, 46 yards on 4 targets. Christensen to throw against a 4-man rush. Christensen in some trouble. Got it away. Ball pops middle. Oh, it's been intercepted. Unbelievable play. That's got to be number 1 this week. And we just got started. Touchdown, Alaska. I can't believe it.
Pick your jaws off the carpet, folks. You just saw the number 1 play of the week, and this is the first game of week 3. An amazing play as Cochran, not Cochran, God got me all flustered here. Christensen gets hit as he throws the ball. It pops straight up in the air, and number 54 for Alaska, and Miss Annette gets the ball off the interception, basically, and runs it in.
And everybody stopped playing for Tallahassee. I think they thought maybe that the ball had gotten off and was going into the end zone. And that's the second time, Steven, I don't know, as we reach into the encyclopedia of SFL history, but I don't know if you remember, but the Storm also had a pick 6 off of a ball that popped up in the air. And that was a long time ago, but man, what a time to be alive for that play as we end the first half. And man, Tallahassee's stunned. They're down 10 as we look at the first half stats and highlights.
Wow. Well, I was gonna say, both of these teams are 0-1, and we're still questioning who are they here in season 12. We know their history, but who are they in the present? And I think we've got really more questions than answers tonight through the first half. But then you just see this amazing special teams play that puts points on the board and firmly puts Alaska in the lead. But it really has nothing to do with what they've done offensively tonight, as both offenses have struggled, haven't been able to get into the end zone. So they've been relying, on their defenses to really come through. And the defenses have been winning that line of scrimmage and really making some key plays, some of them on the goal line. So really don't know who these teams are, specifically offensively, and I think we're going to get some of those answers here in the second half, at least I hope.
Tallahassee's got to be going. We hold Optimus Klein to 7 yards on 1 catch in the first half, and we're down by 10. What are we going to do to beat this team?
Dude, I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So, in my brain, it just started misfiring because that was such an amazing play. And I hope to goodness we're going to get to see it here at the halftime highlights because I want to see it again. But that ball just popped straight up, and it was almost as if everybody on Tallahassee's side of the field, as you see here, kind of fell asleep, didn't know the ball was in the air. 89, I thought 89 was looking at it, and he didn't do nothing about it.
That's
By the
Norris.
time he figured it out, he just couldn't catch up.
And I think that was Alex Dominguez applying the pressure up the middle on Christensen that forced the popped up throw. And it was, Steven, it was almost like you ever see those games where the quarterback goes to throw the ball and it just flies out of his hand? That's almost what that looked like right there.
Yeah, and if it lands on the ground, you know, is it forward motion? You know, is it just a dead ball, or did he get hit when it actually went up? You know, was it just really hit out of his hand? But that's not a question because it got intercepted.
And the Storm who won the toss and chose to defer to the second half will now get the ball to start the third quarter. Alongside Stephen Mullinex, Jeremy Vega, I'm Cameron Irvine, and this is Friday Night Lights. What a play. First and 10 at the 33-yard line now for Ron Cochran as he tries to get the offense moving. With 3 receivers, 2 to the left side, and Cochran will drop the throw, fire down the middle. Bouncing ball is nearly intercepted and probably should have been. That was Chappelle deep, and it brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, hits the receiver in the hands, just kind of bobbles it, and isn't able to bring it in. And that's an opportunity there for Tallahassee to get a rare takeaway, but they couldn't handle the ball either.
Alaska by 10 on the most bizarre of plays, a pick 6 by Maisonette off of a Hail Mary gone awry. That cross was turned upside down on that one as Cochran will take a sack. Loss of 6 yards as Tallahassee starts to get the defensive line moving. That's E.J. DeQ.
And that's the key to that play action. It takes time in order for that to work and get those routes open. So that means your offensive line has got to stop these monsters of the midway kind of here for Tallahassee. And those big monsters can only be held at bay for so long.
Now out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 16. Alaska 1 of 7 on 3rd downs in the ball game. Cochran dropping a throw. Deep ball. Caught in coverage by Optimus Klein. Welcome to the game, number 88. What a beast of a catch.
Yeah, Cam, and I love the confidence behind this throw. Yes, it's double covered, but I have Optimus Klein, number 88, on my squad. I'm going to trust him to go up and catch this ball between 2 defenders, and it pays off.
How about this for a surprise? Robert Merrill outperforming A.J. Francis here in this game tonight. 7 carries, 44 yards. Francis 39 on 9 carries. Handoff Merrill. Robert Merrill sidesteps to the left. Beautiful play. Atkins with the tackle, but Merrill picks up another 6 yards and is up to 50.
And Cam, I'm really surprised that we're not seeing more outside runs by Merrill. His quickness usually tends for those quicker running backs. You know, they're going to get more success going to the outside, but they have run him through the tackles, and so far so good as he's been able to slide through those big defensive ends and the defensive tackles there on the line.
Cochran audibles, Tallahassee counters. Now they're running Merrill outside. Got a block. Robert Merrill 40. Robert Merrill made a man miss and gets to the Tallahassee 34-yard line. Robert Merrill has been clutch for Alaska tonight as the Storm have another 1st down.
Yeah, Cam, and he's been absolutely elusive. You could follow this. He could follow you into a revolving door and come out first. And this guy actually doing these spin moves like this, Cam, showing a bit of elusiveness, We've seen his speed between the tackles. Finally starting to run him to the outside. This guy's starting to get his mojo going here.
That's one of my favorite calls of all time. They follow you into a revolving door and come out first. That was brilliant. Cochran flings it outside to Williams. Williams near a first down to the Tallahassee 25-yard line as Jason Williams gets his third reception, now up to 16 yards. The two backs combined now have 7 receptions for 42 yards.
Well, we clearly see the Storm's game plan coming into this game. They didn't necessarily want to use their big wide receivers as much as utilize their fullback and running back out of the backfield, both as runners and as receivers. And it hasn't been an explosive offensive game, but it's been effective.
Nacho Sicario with 200 bits. Robert Merrill going to get shut down here. That's a loss of 1 as the flats were well defended. And how about Michael Sprouse talking some smack there? That has been his island over there, and it sets up another third down, the 9th of the game so far for Alaska.
Yeah, Sprouse Island, they're going to have 2 of those so the brothers can have them side by side because they both have islands out there, and they'll both splash in the game if you allow it.
Cochran steps up, floats one down the middle, and it's dropped. Wide open, throwing across the body. I can't believe Cochran took that risk, and I believe that was P.J. Hernandez for the Storm, but anyway, it's going to result in another field goal for Fudd.
And how many times have we seen, Cochran be a little bit uncomfortable in the pocket, make a move here, run out of and deliver a really good ball. I thought the ball was great there. That should have been caught by the receiver, had no one around him. 43-yarder
for Fudd, and we still have no offensive touchdowns here tonight. The 43-yarder for the Storm is good, and it's 16-3, Alaska on top by 13. Well, follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram /SimulationFL. Our social media director, Andy Hamilton, and all the social media directors of our teams holding it down all across the league. Show them some love and get on social media and get in the conversation. 7:58 left in the third quarter. Alaska's lead has ballooned to 13 now after the pick six and the subsequent field goal coming out of the first half locker room. A 3-minute, 2-second drive, 8 plays, 47 yards. Going to bring this one out is Swain. What is he doing, Steven? As Christensen will start again from inside his own 20-yard line.
Well, that's what happens once you get here in mid-third quarter. You're down. You feel pressed to have to make a play, and then suddenly your special teams start making some unwise decision. Nearly brought it back to the 20, but as you mentioned, lost some yardage there with the bad decision.
Jay Wowza with 900 bits there, and he's our tonight's top cheerer. Wowza is right. I said cheerer. As Christensen's pass is intercepted. Intercepted on the sideline and running it back the other way for Alaska. Trying to get a number. Ramel Hernandez with the pick. And Alaska is dominating the second half.
Wow, something happened, I think, with Tallahassee's mentality. We talk about the importance of going into halftime, establishing yourself. And there, I think that the Pride just went to halftime and came out of the locker room a defeated team. I mean, we're just seeing them laying egg right now, and this is usually the time, especially here, at home, they start to get hot. And Alaska just really dominating here, specifically time of possession.
And that's now 2 defenders who do not get written about much in the papers that have 2 interceptions tonight for Alaska and potentially 14 points if this turns into an offensive touchdown, which would be a first tonight. Williams gets 1 yard, and if Tallahassee can avoid giving up that touchdown, they would keep this a 2-score game for now.
Yeah, you just can't allow them to get in the end zone here. It would really be tough for the Pride's offense, who've only been able to put up 3 points so far in nearly 2.5 quarters.
Cochran out of the gun, fires, caught inside the 5, dragging defenders, touchdown for Alaska. It is all Storm to start the third quarter, and Alaska dominating the ball game here as that pass caught by Optimus Klein.
Well, the defender tried to follow him on Facebook, but Klein only has Twitter. And there just gets a 3-4 yards of separation going, and it just gave a clear window for Cochran to pass through. And of course, Klein at 6'4", just massive, able to will himself across the end zone mark.
So the extra point for Fudd could make this a 20-point game, and Tallahassee has got to find their mojo. It's almost like they were so stunned by that final play of the first half that it has crippled them here to start the third. And going back to the who you got that was posted earlier today, 52-44, Alaska had the slight edge. But, man, the 44 people that voted for the Pride are let down right now.
Yeah, and this is not indicative, really, I don't think, of what this Pride team is. Like I mentioned, both of these teams had questions going into this game about who they were after losing their first games of the season. I don't think we have a lot of answers about either one.
Swain is
despite the lead.
Swain's pulling a Randall Cobb here. I mean, what? Why is he trying to be the hero? And Christensen continues to be stopped in his own territory. Steven, I don't know what you think, but Francis only has 9 carries right now. They got to get him going, even though they're down 20.
Yeah, I don't think they will, Cam, unless it's in the passing game. They're gonna have to go through Christensen here to try and get back in the game.
High formation, they're going to throw. Christensen hit as he threw. Pass caught by Gossett, a 6-yard gain. Gossett's up to 5 catches. Klein is hot on his trail now with the touchdown, as the Pride try to just get a little bit of momentum going, as Christensen now has 3 interceptions tonight with no touchdowns.
And you might think, why is he throwing the short out here for a 6-yard gain? They're down 20. Shouldn't they be lobbing it, bombing it? No, you know what? Maybe more important for Tallahassee is to get some momentum going, get some confidence between this quarterback and the receivers, and then they can try some deep shots.
And he's got pressure at his feet almost all game long, too. Christensen, short throw, caught by Norris for the first down to the 29-yard line. That's Norris's 3rd catch on his 4th target, and that gets a little positive momentum going for the Storm.
And let's not forget that Christensen did test them deep on the previous series, and it resulted in an interception in the first offensive touchdown of this game.
6:25 to go in the third. 23-3. The defending champs have found their rhythm. But A.J. Francis, trying to get in a rhythm, picks up 7 and lost a defender there at the back of the line of scrimmage. That's now 46 yards on 10 carries for A.J.
Well, I think what Tallahassee's showing us here is that they're going to still run Francis. They know that this guy is explosive and a touchdown machine. Just a big play waiting to happen when you hand it off to this guy. So they still don't feel as much pressure as maybe I think, or maybe you think, or the fans think they should feel here down 20.
2nd and 3 at the 36. Christensen, bit of a hard count here. Hands it off to Francis, got nothing. Francis bottled up, and by the way, the balance of Alaska being shown off here tonight. 126 yards through the air and 82 on the ground right now.
Yeah, we can't talk enough about this defense, Cam. What a performance through this game, limiting an explosive Tallahassee offense at home to just 3 points with 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Tallahassee's 0 for 4 on 3rd downs tonight. Christensen's pass is dropped by Willis, and it's 4th down. They're 0 for 5, and the Pride just rough 3rd quarter continues.
Well, guess who it is? Massanet again. That guy has come to play tonight, Cam. Actually, what great makeup speed. Willis had some separation, but Massanet able to get to the receiver as the ball got to the receiver and knocked that one away. Just a great job by the defender.
5:18 to go in the third, and Tallahassee is punting for the 4th time in the ball game. Alaska came after it but didn't get close. This is Paul on the return from the 27-yard line and up to the 29. Well, if you missed the announcement on Ashley Jackson's podcast, or you missed it in the first half, Blitz Live coming to Twitch and YouTube next Sunday night. Twitch front page in the works. Sim Football Spin on NFL Red Zone, and we'll have more information about this and about what all is going to be shown as we go throughout the week. It's the Simulation Football League's Blitz Live, presented by APM Music, next Sunday night when we're waiting on the NFL to return. 3-yard pickup for Robert Merrill will tick the clock under 5 to go in the third frame.
And really, Alaska's game plan, it really fits them well here. They, if they want to salt this game away, even though we're still here in the third quarter, the way that they've been playing in this game is that perfect route to do so. Using their running backs, both as on the ground and through the air, and then occasionally finding their wide receivers for big plays.
Williams got a first down and a pickup of 7 yards to the 39-yard line as he talks some smack with some Pride defenders. That's 24 yards on 7 carries. And finally, Stephen, we're seeing the balance between Merrill and Williams that we thought we might see against the Vultures. And now we've got a Harry's close call, close shave challenge as Frank Gooden wants to challenge that spot.
Well, we're seeing a bit of thunder and lightning between these two, Williams and Merrill, with Merrill with these speed runs and then the power of Williams. Here, the challenge. I think that looked like a first down from that angle to me. And I think if you give him forward progress time, I think he crosses that line. But
I would agree with you on first blush. And Frank Gooden's going to win his challenge, so we are incorrect. Will not be charged a timeout, and I believe that'll bring up a third down and very short for Alaska. Yes, 3rd and inches at the 39 as Alaska tries to get their 10th first down. And they'll hand it off to Williams, and he says, I raise you your challenge, and I give you another 2-yard pickup. From shave sets to handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship made in Germany. We make Harry's products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they perform as well as they possibly can. Use the coupon code SIMULATIONFL at purchase from Harrys.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL Harry's official razor of the SFL. 1st and 10 at the 40 after another move of the chains for Alaska. There goes Robert Merrill, and Merrill gets 9 to the Storm 49-yard line. Chappelle on the tackle, but Alaska is wearing down Tallahassee in the 3rd.
Yeah, and then Jason Williams, the fullback who just got you the first down, springs Merrill for that 9-yard gain. What an excellent block by him. That's one of the advantages of having a Pro Bowl fullback like Jason Williams.
Tallahassee needs to force a turnover. 3:20 left to go in the 3rd. And Cochran going to go down for a sack. That's not too shabby either. Sack made on that defensive front by Tyquan Hale, and it'll bring up 3rd and 5.
And Hale just really converting just his real power into speed there so quickly to get off of the offensive lineman and put his head down into the quarterback, just not giving enough time for Alaska to run that play action.
3rd and 5. Alaska's 3 of 10 on 3rd downs, but they've converted 3 of their last 4. 2 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield. Cochran going to throw on a slant pass, caught. Como ran it short. However, Steven, that was pretty good coverage in the zone as it looked like Tallahassee kind of bumped him off his route a little bit and it pushed him back inside.
Yeah, you'd wish that Como might have just had better field awareness, taken the ball and just stretched it out. That probably would have been enough to get the first down. Instead, 4th and inches. Sometimes you see teams go for this here at the 50-yard line. Alaska with a comfortable lead, they'll just punt it.
Yeah, especially with the way they're playing defense on Tallahassee tonight. And once again, this has got to be, the 4th or 5th time, Stephen, that Tallahassee has started inside their own 20. They've had terrible field position all night, and they've only had 1 drive over 5 plays.
Yeah, they just can't find any consistency in their offense. We'll see flashes of good things happening in the passing game, good things happening in the running game, but they are bookended by negative plays or bad plays.
2:14 to go in the 3rd. A lot of time left, but Tallahassee's got to turn on the juice here and pretty quick. 3 receivers. Christensen going to throw. Christensen looking, nearly threw a pick as he saw that pressure in his face, and it was almost like the rusher, who I couldn't see exactly who that was, but it almost looked like the rusher stopped and said, "What are you going to do? What are you going to do?" before he continued his rush.
I think you got to question Christensen's vision a little bit. I saw Grayson Willis wide open on the left-hand side of the field, ignored him, and went to someone that was covered in this tight end.
Second down and 10 at the 16-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Francis to try to make it a more manageable third down. But Tallahassee's not converted a third down yet tonight, as Francis picks up just 49 yards on 12 carries.
That's amazing to think that, Cam. I mean, that's just, again, speaks to what the Storm's defense has been able to do, really impose their will on this Pride offense that we've seen historically just been amazing, putting up bukus of points in the past, but just held to a field goal.
3rd and 7. Christensen had to get rid of it. Francis has to make a man miss. What a hit in the open field to avoid the first down. That was Hernandez, as Alaska's defense continues to step up to the challenge. 0 for 6, so the Pride will have to punt it again.
Yeah, and you got to think Francis is thinking, what do I got to do? You know, I'm trying everything that I can, but it's been an impenetrable wall there at the first down marker. Just can't seem to get across it.
So another punt. Busy night for Howard McCoy. The 5th punt of the game for the Pride as Paul returns up to the 42-yard line, and you almost, or at least I am thinking, Stephen, that you kind of almost have to do what Alaska did at the end of the first half to even feel like Tallahassee could get back into this. They need like a really big play to make them believe again.
Well, we've had already this season a couple back-to-back pick sixes that got, I believe it was Carolina back into that game. Why couldn't it happen here for Tallahassee?
First down and 10 at the 42-yard line for the Storm as they start another possession. Handoff to Williams, picks up just 1 yard. The Simulation Football League is brought to you by MediaTek Institute. Visit mediatek.edu for diploma programs. Turn your passion into your profession. MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women. And by Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. And off Merrill, and Merrill will pick up near a first down, 84 yards on 12 carries.
Yeah, this is a way better performance from Merrill than we saw back in their first game of the season back in week 1. A 23-10 loss to Baltimore. Had just 4 yards on 6 carries. So here we're just seeing the whole gambit from him. They're able to wiggle away from his own block in order to get 9 yards.
Second and short, that's Williams' time. And how about E.J. DeCue? He blew that play up on 3rd and short. And that's how the third quarter is going to end. A long third quarter as we've hit the end of it, and it was all Storm. 23-3. This is Friday Night Lights on the SFL's network on Twitch TV, presented by APM Music. Stay right here. Punt down to the 12-yard line, and what do you know, Stephen? The Pride will start inside their own 20 again at the 15-yard line. They've got to flip the field here in the 4th.
And I'm not liking the body language I'm seeing from the Pride out there. I mean, they are being embarrassed at home, and we saw E.J. DeCue actually take out some of that frustration, I believe, on the previous series. But yeah, this is a team that they are what their name says they are. They are prideful. They have pride, and I think they're going to come out in this 4th quarter and try to put up some points here.
First and 10 to the 15-yard line, and Christensen will start the drive with a quick throw to Willis. Willis able to stay in bounds, turn the corner, pick up 9. As you look at the updated quarterback numbers, Cochran hasn't done much tonight, but he's played a clean game.
Yeah, and hasn't had to do as much as, the plays have been coming from elsewhere. And when you have a defense like this, I mean, look, Brent Dilfer has a Super Bowl ring. Brad Johnson has a Super Bowl ring. They did that on the back of defense. And they're winning this game tonight. The Storm are on the back of their defense. 22
runs, 21 passes for Alaska's offense as that pass caught by Gossett for a first down of the 29. 12 runs for Merrill, 10 for Williams. And then when you look at the targets, 2 for Como, 4 for Klein, 4 for Williams, 5 for Merrill. I mean, it's like balance all across the board.
Yeah. And on the other side of the ball, I think it's just a kind of an unbalance. This Pride team still, I think, trying to find their identity without the season 11 MVP on the field for them. Still trying to, these new faces, trying to mix the chemistry right. And see what works for them. Obviously, a lot didn't work right for them.
1st and 10 of the 29. Christensen dumps it short. A.J. Francis got the first down. Boy, I love that little play to Francis because this guy's got some wheels and then in the open field is able to do some serious damage. That's the second really nice throw up the middle to Francis.
Yeah, it really shows no fear. A lot of times when the receiver is a running back like that and just so close to the line of scrimmage with his back to the defense, you see them actually do a little, they kind of fade back towards the quarterback, not Francis.
And Francis this time looked a little winded there as he was looking for the out of bounds line. Only picks up 2, 2nd and 8. And how about, in the second half, Stephen, Ken Gossett has completely disappeared.
Yeah, and he disappeared really in week 1, so was grateful really to see him flash in the first half. But as you mentioned here, I just something about the balance of this team seems just to be a little bit off.
9 minutes to go, 2nd and 8, 23-3. Still a 3-possession game. Deep ball caught by Willis. First down to the Alaska 39-yard line. That's a pickup of 20 and the pride of a first down. That's their biggest gain in quite some time.
And they've taken advantage of that particular route before. They did it with Gossett before. When they tried it with Willis, this little post play, it was an interception the last time they tried this play. So boom or bust a little bit here, but really needed some kind of a stimulant here, something to really spark this offense. Maybe that's the play to do it.
Holding that ball out there a little dangerously. 1st and 10 at the 39, 8:33 to go in the fourth quarter. Back to pass. Christensen against the blitz. Christensen just got it away and has an open receiver. That's Swain. First down to the Storm, 25-yard line. Alaska was coming with some pressure. Thought they could get a sack, and Christensen found an open receiver.
Yeah, good job by CC there, able to stand tall in the pocket. Knew they was going to take a big hit, but did everything that he could to get the ball there to his receiver, who actually makes a great run after the catch to get the first down.
Out of the gun, CC trying to lead an epic fourth quarter comeback here. This is the best drive for Tallahassee since their 10-play, 79-yard field goal drive. Christensen pass caught by Norris down to the 7. 1st and goal for Ty Norris and the Pride.
Yeah, Norris, we've seen him be lethal in the middle of the field. And Cam, I expect maybe them to go back to this play to try and get in the end zone, but just a nice, big target for your quarterback, 6'7", 285. Could be also maybe an end zone target, red zone target here for Christensen as this defense is squeezed, as the field is squeezed.
Tackle made by Andrew Francis. Tallahassee needs 3 touchdowns in this quarter, and Francis got leveled on the line by Pierre Lyon, and that's the last thing the Pride needed, and I'm really surprised, Stephen, they went back to Francis after Christensen was getting going there.
How much do you lift, bro? I mean, dude, that dude tackled A.J. Francis, one of the hardest guys to bring down in the SFL, did it with one arm. I mean, that dude, man, must power lift.
2nd and goal with a 9. Christensen going to throw. End zone, touchdown! Ken Gossett and the Tallahassee Pride offense answer back, and we got a ball game again.
Yeah, good to see the wily veteran get in there and grab himself one, coming off the snide a little bit in his first performance of the season. Here, just a nice little kind of slant route, mini post route here, and he just gets enough separation where Christensen is able to lob that right into the end zone. And boy, they made it look easy when it's been so hard in this game to get these kind of points.
100 bits from T. Paternitti for the touchdown, and Tallahassee now just a 2-score game, 7:17 left. All of a sudden, you look back at the box score, and Alaska's punted 2 straight possessions. Couldn't run enough time off the clock. The extra point for Richard Douglas is good, and it's 23-10. A 13-point game as Tallahassee, just a little bit of we've had enough of losing to Alaska left in them.
Yeah, and I think they really poured a little bit more into the passing game, and they're going to have to as the clock keeps winding down. They're going to have to pass the ball more, and I think that shift in balance away from A.J. Francis a little bit helped them on that series.
7:17 left in the fourth quarter, and Paul will return the kickoff. Made a man fly. Oh, man, where's Damon Simeon when you need him? As that was Superman turned into Super Zero in about 1.5 seconds. Paul gets it over to the 29-yard line. Cochran 15 of 21, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks tonight.
And I don't expect the game plan to change at all. I think they're still going to go to the ground. Merrill's been running great tonight. As you see the numbers, averaging 7 yards a carry. Why not give it to this man to salt away the game?
3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield, 7 in the box, handoff. Merrill and Eaton brought him down almost immediately. Tallahassee starting to get a little revved up here as the clock ticks under 7.
And boy, if they would have given that ball to Williams on the outside, he was wide open. There wasn't anybody for 30 yards around him. Just an opportunity there that might have even ended up in at least a 30, 40-yard game, maybe even a touchdown. Missed opportunity.
And Merrill, Robert Merrill gets crushed. He's still down. Eaton with another vicious hit. It's 3rd and 10, and the crowd is rumbling at the Lions' Den.
Yeah, that was the concern with Merrill as a running back. Could he take the punishment at 5'11", 210, and just really a slight frame there, more quickness than power. And boy, he can't take many more hits like that.
Cochran on 3rd and 10 going deep. It's caught by Klein. What a catch! In coverage, blanket coverage from Michael Sprouse for the Storm, first down.
Up, down, left, right, BA start. What is that? That's a cheat code, Cam. And that's what basically Klein is on the field. He is a human cheat code. It's just not fair to have that guy on the field making clutch plays like this.
Man, 6 minutes to go in the 4th. And by the way, for those youngsters out there in the SFL chat, know that it's not an actual cheat code that exists. 1st and 10 at midfield, handoff to Williams. Williams dragging a defender and then getting out to the 46-yard line, a pickup of 4. But I'm looking at the body language right now for the Pride, and it almost seems like even just that one play was a little deflating.
Well, yeah, how many big plays can you just take and not just instantly deflate over there on the sidelines? Like, well, you have an opportunity to get back into this game, get them on a long 3rd down attempt, and Klein comes down with a catch like that.
Oh, Cochran sacked by Hunter Norwood. He was in there almost immediately as Norwood will force a 3rd down and 11.
And here's your opportunity again. Can you stop Alaska on 3rd and 11? I think it comes down to these defensive linemen, Cam. Can they get pressure like they just put on Cochran and force him to make a bad play? Haven't really seen many bad plays from Cochran tonight.
Vine's got 63 yards on 4 receptions. 4 receivers for Cochran as they spread him out in a dime look. And Cochran's going long down the middle of the field. Pass is incomplete as it was out too far ahead of Como. Jeff Como was open, Steven, and it's rare that Ron Cochran misses an open receiver like that. They'll have to punt.
Yeah, and Cochran, I feel like he pressed it. Really had good offensive line play. They had really stopped the 3-man rush and had an opportunity to maybe hold that ball a little bit longer, but I think he pressed that pass in just a little quick and just was just barely off pace with his receiver.
3rd straight punt, 15 plays, 51 yards on the last 3 drives for the Storm. But again, Tallahassee going to start inside their own 20. Steven, that has been, in my opinion, that's the story of the game, that the Pride have just had to try so much harder than the Storm to score tonight.
And you're not wrong, but you've got to feel a little bit of momentum after what your offense was able to do on the previous series, and hope that they can get you back down the field again and go that 81 yards.
Christensen, 23 of 30, 233 yards. Starting to get heated up a little bit. 3 receivers for Christensen, 4:38 to go. 3-step drop, fires middle, caught by Norris, and Norris drags a defender for a first down to the 30.
How important has that tight end been for them in getting back into this game?
Norris's 5th catch, and Jeremy Vega goes, oh no, they're going no huddle. Christensen back to pass is incomplete. That'll stop the clock, intended for Swain. Christensen again looking for an interference call. He's not going to get one.
Yeah, can't rely on the refs here to try and bail you out. You gotta get this one yourself here, down 13. Got to get down and score some points. You got 4 minutes, 21 seconds left. You still got all of your timeouts. Plenty of time to get back into this game.
By the way, that 86-yard, 9-touchdown drive was more than they had in yardage on their previous 4 drives. as they finally got that offense moving. Christensen to throw. Christensen first down to Gossett to the 42-yard line. 4:11 to go in the fourth quarter, and the Pride are moving it again. Press coverage here up to, at the bottom of your screen. Christensen pushed by the defensive front, and Christensen goes down for the sack. That was Lyon.
Yeah, just an excellent job of Alaska getting penetration. You know, it's only a matter of time before the big fellas get through.
2nd and 15. Christensen pass caught to the outside. That was Wes Turner. Got 9 yards. It's 3rd down and 6 for the Pride. 3rd downs have been the bugaboo. 3:40 to go in the fourth. The throw. Christensen against the blitz. Christensen off his back foot just flips one up, and the pass is incomplete and almost caught by Willis on the deflection. What a crazy play, as Francis and about 5 other different Alaska Storm players were there. And on 4th and 6, I think you got to go for this.
Yeah, it's 4th down territory for sure. But, man, that pass, those kind of passes will give offensive coordinators nightmares, Cam, and heart attacks on the sidelines. Just an ill-advised throw, but at this point, just really chucking it to see if he can make something happen.
3:34 to go. 4th and 6 at the 46-yard line. Christensen again, a push up front for Alaska, and that ends the drive and a possible comeback from the Storm. Big Sexy involved.
Yeah, just a terrible play call, Cam. Just a really shallow drop by the quarterback. If you're going to have that shallow of a drop back, you've got to get rid of the ball quickly. Receiver just couldn't get open in time, and he has to eat the sack on 4th down.
So now the odds even slimmer for Tallahassee, but it's still a 2-score game. They're going to have to get some stops quickly. They got all 3 timeouts in the 2-minute warning. They got 7 in the box right now as Alaska's going heavy. They're going to hand it off to Merrill running right. Merrill got a block. Robert Merrill breaks a tackle, picks up 7, and is now in the range of Fudd with 3:22 and counting.
Yeah, this Storm squad's too experienced, Cam. They're not going to give Tallahassee an opportunity to make some kind of interception or takeaway. They're just going to, I think they're just going to run this ball, and if they need to kick a field goal, they will, but they really want to milk this clock for all it's worth.
2nd down and 3 at the 35-yard line. Tallahassee just got going a little bit too late in this ball game, and they're going to pay for it. And coincidentally, this was the Storm's Week 1 score. They were just on the losing end of it. Williams first down to the 31-yard line, and I bet Coach Gooden wish he had a timeout or a challenge in his pocket, which I think he does if he wants to use it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he does, but maybe the saving grace is the fact that the game clock, and it's going to end before the 2-minute warning, so it essentially gives Tallahassee an extra timeout. But they've got to have a stop right here.
Yeah, they can't allow another first down after the 2-minute warning, or you can put a fork in this one. 2:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Cochran running it all the way down. Handoff Merrill running right. Robert Merrill is stuffed. Lost 3 all the way back to the 34-yard line, which makes the field goal that much more difficult. And we've reached the Quip 2-minute warning. Visit quip.com for more information about their products. And you're watching Friday Night Lights on the SFL Network on Twitch TV, presented by 8 PM Music. Second down and 13. Tallahassee has all 3 timeouts. They're holding on to a glimmer of hope here at home. Alaska's going to win their 3rd straight over the Pride. They lead the all-time series 2-0. Both of those were championship games. This is the first regular season meeting, and it's been more of the same. Successes for Alaska against Frank Gooden.
Here's their opportunity. 3rd and 9. Get a stop here. Possibly make Fudd do another field goal attempt, which he probably has to ice his leg after the game. He's been kicking so much tonight. But an opportunity here for Tallahassee.
It'd be his 4th field goal and 6th kick overall, counting the 2 extra points. Play action pass is caught for a first down. What a gutsy call by Alaska. A sack could have put him in out of field goal range, and Ron Cochran just iced this one.
Cam, I love this. I love this by Cochran. Must have been a basketball player back in high school, because he kind of does the fake. He with one hand he fakes the handoff, and then with the other hand throws the ball just seamlessly like the athlete that he is, and that should be enough here to ice this one.
Coming up tomorrow, Saturday night is rivalry night as the Houston Hyenas 0-2 will take on the 1-1 Mexico City Aztecs, as the Aztecs will try to avoid losing a second consecutive home game, which is super rare. Houston going to try to avoid going 0-3, which may have never happened in league history. And those two teams have played at least 10 times over the course of their history. A long list of wonderful games played by Damon Simeon and Ramos Lin, including Houston's game-winning drive last season to get that victory over the Aztecs, as Alaska has entered victory formation.
Yeah, and for Alaska, it doesn't get any easier. They've got, they're actually traveling to Sioux Falls and to face them in week 4. Tallahassee, they're going to Vegas in week 4. So both of these teams, it gets no easier than what they saw tonight. And boy, I just, for Alaska, hopefully the start of more of what we've seen from them. For Tallahassee, more questions and answers tonight.
Boy, how about Vegas, huh? Number 1 in the power rankings earlier today, which got a lot of talk. But the Fury getting 3 block kicks, knocking T-Roy Gaines out of the game last week. They were willing to do whatever they could to get that victory over Baltimore. And then obviously conquered their demons, which Tallahassee was unable to do tonight, beating Sioux Falls after losing to them 3 times last season. So the Fury, kind of the surprise team of the SFL at the moment.
Yeah, and you're talking about against a team that beat Alaska, Baltimore, in that first game. So, yeah, I think Vegas, I think New Orleans of the 2-0 teams for me are a couple of the ones that have been surprises and pleasant surprises. Specifically, the Pharaohs have really loved their offense.
42-yard field goal for Fudd is up and good. It is still a 2-score game. Haven't forgotten about that yet, but just the way and the time left that the Tallahassee Pride offense has been playing tonight, there's very little hope, and we're going to look back to 2 plays in this one. The play action pass on 3rd down to bleed the clock late, and the interception right before the half on the attempted Hail Mary return for a touchdown. Those 2 plays stick out in my mind as the difference makers in the Storm getting their first win of the season tonight and avoiding an 0-2 slide.
Yeah, and Cam, I think it really, specifically that play right before halftime, really just sparked Alaska. They just came out and looked like a different team in the second half, where we kind of just saw the same thing out of the Pride, and they were able to put together one decent drive in this game, Tallahassee, but outside of that one drive, Cam, they have just not looked themselves.
An underrated game on the schedule later this week. I'm interested to see, Stephen, who's going 3-0. Denver at San Francisco, 2 teams that have not seen the playoffs, although San Antonio did in the Vaqueros portion of that franchise history. But Denver and San Fran, that's going to be a fun one. And we'll get your thoughts on that in post-game as Tallahassee's attempting, well, they're going to spike it here with about 8 seconds to go. What do you think of Denver-San Fran, Stephen?
Yeah, I think it's full of superstar players. I mean, I think that's what's really been the difference maker for both sides. Gabriel Manning has really, I think, established himself as maybe the greatest wide receiver in the SFL right now, and doing it not only through the air as a receiver, but in special teams as well. But I think just his explosion has been amazing. And McChesney, the running back in Denver, I've been scouting him in preparation for our game in week 4. And I think he's just absolutely terrific and really put a stamp on him as one of the better running backs here in the SFL early.
And that's going to end the game on a sack. How fitting for Alaska, as the Storm will get a 26-10 victory over Tallahassee, and the Pride will go back to the drawing board and try to figure out how to beat the Storm. They'll play them later in the season for their 4th time. Tallahassee gets more offensive yards than Alaska tonight, but those 3 turnovers loom large as that proved to be the difference in the game. The Storm play a clean sheet. Well, Stephen, Tallahassee's 0-2. What do they got to do to turn this around? It's been a tough start for them to start the season.
I think that they're fine. They clearly have the talent to be successful. We know that they have the owner and the coaching staff to be successful. They just have to put it all together. And I just think the new additions to this team, they're still learning that balance of what works and what doesn't work. I have no doubt that Frank Gooden's going to put it together and start winning ball games again in Tallahassee. But certainly got to be disappointed here. Had an opportunity to maybe get one in this series between them and the Storm, as they've come out on the wrong end as far as they're concerned in the last two championship games. They'll have an opportunity in Week 8 to face this Storm team again, but it's going to be in Alaska at the Eye, which is always just a tough proposition there to try to get a win in that place.
And it's probably not going to be 63 and mostly cloudy there when they take that trip to Anchorage. Olive Cox 3 asks, when is the next game? Same time, same place, Olive. 7 o'clock Central, 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night. Houston at Mexico City for rivalry night. I'm F and Problem says salute on the call to Simulation FL and my boy Stephen M. What's the M stand for, Stephen?
Boy, you know, there's so many dirty things I want to say and I can't say them.
I thought you were going to say cash money, but...
Oh, okay. Well, that's me and you on the same wavelength as usual. Look who gets the MVP.
How about that? How often do you see a linebacker get the 2K Sports Player of the Game? That is phenomenal.
Yeah, boy, that play... boy, that's going to be one we're going to relive a lot, Cam, because that was amazing, and I think that'll be what everyone remembers this matchup for.
For Jeremy Vega, Stephen Mullinex, I'm Cameron Irvine, the rest of our SFL broadcast team from the Lions Den in Tallahassee and back at the SFL studios in Texas. This has been a presentation of the SFL Network presented by APM Music. Good night, everybody.
Dilly dilly.